What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Ant's Garage. Today we got the Cummins in the shop. I'm going to be putting in a new 5-inch exhaust. The one I had broke. I'll show you here in a second. When I got the death wobble, it rattled everything and it actually busted the old exhaust that I had. Now, it just hangs, so it broke the hanger. And this thing is just hanging, so time for a new one. That's what we got going on today. So, yeah, new exhaust, 5-inch upgraded. It's a 4-inch downpipe to 5. Here's the 4-inch downpipe. Then there's the 4 to 5-inch piece, and then it's 5-inch all the way back. We got an MBRP. Should be fairly straightforward. What's nice is half the exhaust is gone already. So it was a dual. I had a dual exhaust with a muffler, took that off, had the cat stack on, and then now since I got the death wobble, as you just saw, broke at the hanger. So now we're putting in a 5-inch. It's gonna sound nice. So that's what we got going on today. Keep you updated, shouldn't be too bad. I just sprayed the downpipe bolts with some PB. These are rusty and crusty, so that's gonna be fun. But I've had them taken out before, and what's nice with this MBRP kit, they give you the 2 new flange bolts, which is gonna save me some time. And yeah, definitely need the new hardware, because last time we took this off, one of the bolts was completely like rusted through, and it's held up since, but here we go. That's what we got going on today. I'll keep you updated. All right, so we're getting creative with the extensions here. Gonna get the downpipe from the bottom, probably the easiest. These bolts are pretty rusted. They're not in the best shape. Cooked. So, gonna try and get it from the bottom with all of those extensions. That's what I did last time. So, gonna make it work. Okay, so what we got going on, we got the old exhaust out, we got the downpipe out. One stud, but as you can see, we don't have the second stud. Well, that is the head of the other bolt. And I snapped it. Likely story. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm gonna try. That one didn't come out. As you can see, clearly we got a hole, and then that one, no hole. We got a bolt stuck in there. What I'm gonna try and do is thread on 2 nuts and then back it out using the nuts instead of heating it up, cutting, using reverse thread, drill bits, and all that stuff. So wish me luck. That's what we got going on. I took the air intake pipe out, so yeah. The extensions worked mint. PB blaster worked good for the other bolt, but I was getting a little too excited, a little too overzealous, and bink, yeah, it worked too good. So snapped the head of the bolt, and now I got like 3/4 of the other stud hanging out of the, the turbo manifold there. So that's what we're dealing with. But old pipes out, hole, it's disconnected, and of course, wouldn't be a little fun project without having a hiccup, but nothing we can't handle. We got the tools, we got the knowledge, we got the finesse. We'll get it figured out. All right, thanks for tuning back in to Ant's Garage, or staying tuned in. We had a little bit of a hiccup ever since I stripped that bolt, so the double nut did not work. We're gonna try and weld that nut to the bolt that I stripped off, and we'll try and get it that way. So that's what I got going on right now. Fingers crossed. Keep you updated. Got a stud puller on the one stud there that I busted off. I'm heating it up. We're gonna see if I can get it off now. Sorry for the bad filming, but that's what we got going on. All right, we got it. Now, literally 5 minutes, some heat, literally heated up for maybe, I don't know, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. Handful of minutes heating it up, and it just came right out. So stud puller to save the day. And now we're gonna get the downpipe on once this thing cools off. So yeah, she's smoking, but stud puller saves the day. Tool of the job, stud puller. I tapped this side last night, so that bolt's gonna go in nice and easy now. This one I'm gonna wait till it cools, and I'm gonna see how it threads, and I might just give it a little retap. But that's where we're at. Downpipe's gonna go on once it cools off, and then throwing the rest of the exhaust together. Should be smooth sailing from here on out. So for anybody who needs to know what thread tap to use for that, it's a M10 by 1.5. And yeah, this side should go right in now. Yeah, this side's good. Mint. So that's what I tapped it with. M10 by 1.5. The more you know. All right, so got the extension pipe marked up 16 inches because I have a quad cab short bed. If this was a long bed, you wouldn't have to make the cut. But if you have a short, or if you have a single cab, you'd cut this down to 12. But since I have extended cab short bed, it's going to be 16 inches for this extension pipe going onto the 4-inch to 5-inch extension pipe, 16 inches, muffler delete over the axle, and then we'll have the tailpipe. So right now I got it all marked up, 16 inches. We're gonna cut this, put this on, band clamp, and on to the next piece. All right, so we just got everything buttoned up with the exhaust. Everything's tightened down. Just made a little wiring repair for the headlights, and then yeah, gonna throw the airbox back on, but everything's in there. Good to go. Straight through 5-inch, all the way back. Good, good. These clamps were a little bit of a pain, but they weren't too bad once you get it figured out. Just take your time. This is MBRP kit. You got to have it on the clamp before you mount it and then have it on the pipe that you're going to install it on. So that just a little tip there. Yeah, it's all the way. That's what it looks like. I got it nice, right where I want it, not hanging low. So happy with the way it turned out. Once I got the stud out of the manifold elbow and the turbo elbow, and we're good now. Like I said, just gonna button up the airbox, and we're gonna get the first startup with the new 5-inch straight pipe exhaust.